You are tuned in and listening to chartingwealth.com IYY, Total Market Index Fund. It charts what's going on across the board in stocks. What do we have happening? Well, we can see where the market had been going down strongly over the last 8 days. Those of you who are listening via audio, I'll tell you what we see. We had 4 down 2-day candles representing 8 days of movement starting on the 21st after the big down candle on the 17th. And then as of today, the 2-day candle that drew the first day today, we have a bit of an up move. The market actually opened higher than it closed and moved up for the day. On the 2-day candle, we'll see how it finishes off when it completes that candle tomorrow. But let's zoom into actually what happened intraday. And as we look at the charts, we can see where the market opened higher than the close and moved up throughout the course of the day. It actually moved up almost 2%, which is pretty good considering all the main down movements you've seen. And what's really interesting too is our derivative oscillator is represented on our charts by the light red boxes in the indicator panel at the bottom of our screen. It has worn out completely, is almost flipped over on the 4-hour chart. And it does appear that we have a convergence coming on the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence. The lines are getting close. Will it cross tomorrow? Well, yet to see, but we are paying close attention to that. Now, let's zoom back out to our 2-day chart. Oops, not the 3-day, but the 2-day chart, and let's look at SPY. What is that? Well, that's the Standard & Poor 500 big companies that make up that index. And we can see also that the Standard & Poor 500 was up almost again 2%, 1.87 to be exact. Parallels somewhat similar to what we saw in IYY. If we revert to our 4-hour chart, we can see how it climbed nicely, and it looks like a crossing is getting close between the moving average convergence divergence line depicted in blue on our chart and the signal line. If that blue moves through it, then of course we have a short-term crossover. We are still, of course, in a long-term on the 2-day chart downtrend, and we saw actually an acceleration of the derivative oscillator based primarily upon how much down movement took place in the prior 2-day candles. That is still showing itself, and that is a big swing and a big push. Now let's look at what's happening in the Qs. What is the Qs? It's also called the cubes. It's the NASDAQ 100, the technology stocks. What did they do? Well, they had also had 4 2-hour candles, 8 days of strong down movement. Up movement today, pretty strong, 2.3%. And again, we have a green candle drawing for the first day of the 2-day candle. It's not finished off yet. Let's see how that continues to play its way out tomorrow. If we look at the 4-hour chart, so that's 2 half days for the day, we see that the derivative oscillator lost a great deal of steam, and we have a converging, not yet crossed, but a coming together of the MACD and the signal line. So we'll continue to watch very closely to see if we've truly hit a bottom or if the market's just digesting these losses and going to roll back over. Again, we pay attention to the charts, not the noise. So there we go. Confirmed down move still on all 3 of our indexes, the total market, the Standard & Poor 500, and the Qs, but could be bottoming out in the short term and maybe the long term. Let's just continue to watch that. We have no confirmation yet. What's going on with gold? Well, gold has started to move over. It's not crossed yet on the 2-day chart, but what do we care about in gold? We care about the 4-hour chart. That's our good chart. And of course, what did it do? Well, it crossed over going down back in the afternoon on the 28th, as we told you. And what has it continued to do? Our 4-hour chart has continued to show us that it knows what the hell it's doing. And hopefully you'd paid attention to that. And you got into an inverse gold fund. Again, virtually, we don't give advice for real trading. This is for learning how to trade so you can make your own decisions. We are not a stock calling service. We do not take that liability. We do not offer that kind of advice. We talk about learning to trade. And if you would have taken that virtual trade in an inverse fund, you would have done quite well over the last couple of days. We're in a confirmed down move on gold on the chart that we pay attention to, and that is the 4-hour chart, because you know what? If the chart works, use it, and it has worked time and time again over the last several months. So again, this chart is worth having. Please make sure that you make use of it. And again, if you don't have our charts, all you got to do is go to chartingwealth.com, email us, ask us for it, sign up for our newsletter. We'll get you the charts. It's worth it. And the nice thing is it comes from freestockcharts.com. So what does that mean? They're free. Thank you so much for listening to us. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram, chartingwealth.com.